It's Deprogrammed. My name is Justin. I'm a host, sure. That's what we'll call me. I'm the one who steers the ship here at Deprogrammed, and today we are going to be talking about Fozzy. And no, enough with the Waka Waka jokes. I get it. It's the low-hanging fruit. Leave it be, okay? It's a band. It's Chris Jericho's band, and they're good, and we're going to talk about them. But first, patreon.com/ohhijustin is the best way to support me and this program. You get this program, Deprogrammed, 4 full days before the rest of the world. You also get the hashtag WrestlePals. You also get the hashtag WrestleParty. You also get the Oh Hi Justin Daily Pod. You get the Oh Hi Justin Weekly Pod. You get the These Ghouls demos that I've been working very hard on. You also get, I said hard on, hey-oh. You also get literally whatever else comes to my brain. You know, there's a super secret project that I'm working on. That you'll get that. I'm just saying there's a lot for your dollar, and it helps me out a great deal. That being out of the way, we're talking Fozzy today, and I can think of no better panel than the two gentlemen joining me today. He goes by many names, and here on Deprogrammed, we like to let him be himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy.
I got to say the Fozzy was like half my bit for today, but, I guess not.
I had to squash that out front. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I figured, I mean, if we didn't address it, though, it would have been weird.
Yeah,
but,
it's true.
Yeah.
Andy.
But, yeah, I mean, let's break the walls down.
Yeah, one. Andy, I've been meaning to ask you this. I've never asked, are the A's long in your last name? Is it Matas?
No, it's Mattis.
Mattis. So it's short A's. Okay.
Yeah.
All the years I've known you, I've never thought to ask that.
Oh, no.
Now we know.
Yeah.
So
let it be known on the record.
Yes.
Mattis.
We're writing it down. We are putting it out there to the world. Now everybody knows. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other line, it always tickles me pink to have somebody new to Deprogrammed, especially when it's a very old dear friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hood.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy.
Buddy. It took a long time to get here, but we're here.
I know it did. Well, Andy's on 9 Million Podcasts, and you're starting 9 Million Podcasts,
yes.
So it's hard for me to squeeze in. But, what's funny, though, is Andy brought it up. You killed the Fozzy thing, and I think Andy and I were planning on doing that. You got to remember, my day job is nothing but low-hanging fruit jokes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Which, by the way, I'd like to point out to the listening audience out there, I just, as we were speaking, went ahead and signed up for that Patreon at Oh Hi Justin.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
So everybody else should get on there too and be cool just like me.
It's only $1. I mean,
it's $1,
and it helps me. It really does help me a great deal. It helps my dumb self-esteem because we all know I have very low self-esteem. But it also it helps me with equipment upgrades and stuff like that I desperately need. So
right.
Yeah. No, Sean. Just before we hop in here, we were supposed to do the Metallica episode, and it fell through at the last minute because you were doing radio, and we were still Radio Free Radio at the time.
Correct, yes. Which bummed me out big time because me and Metallica, I would have loved to have been a part of that episode.
Yeah, man.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it was.
If you haven't gone back to listen, you should.
Yes, we had one Andy and Talbert on that show, and it was a blast. So we're going to hop in here with Fozzy, and I want to get your because a long time ago, Andy was like, yeah, I'll do Fozzy. Like, whenever Fozzy first popped up on the list, I just put them up there kind of just in passing. But you emphatically said, I want to do Fozzy, Sean.
Well, there's a connection there, for a couple of reasons. One, I don't know if the listening audience knows this or not, but Justin and I used to do a little podcast together.
Oh, yes.
Called Your Wrestling Show.
Podcasting gold.
And that's right. One of Justin's other 9 Million podcasts. And we did it for several years.
Mm-hmm.
And a running joke on that show was a song from Fozzy.
Yes.
That drove our friend Zach quite insane.
Oh, he hated it. He
Which one was
hated
that?
it.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to it.
Oh, we'll
Don't
get
you
there.
worry.
Yes.
It's on my list.
Nice.
Yeah. But I remember when I first found Fozzy, and I was thrown off at first because I think Jericho was calling himself Mongoose McQueen at the time.
Yep. Yep. When they first started. Yep.
It is the worst name.
Like in the ring, or was that his stage name?
No, that was his stage.
The other stage.
Yep.
That was his stage name for music. And he would completely outright deny that he was Mongoose McQueen. And
it's a fun bit.
So it was almost, yeah, it was a bit at first, which led me to be interested. I started listening, and I'm a guy who enjoys, 80s metal and like just rock in general.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first got into them, was that All That Remains album.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they were really starting to figure out who they were there, and there were a few good songs on. And then from them, these guys have only gotten better. So I've become actually a very big Fozzy fan.
Well, that's awesome because
Yeah.
Andy, I think you were just kind of interested. I don't know that you were necessarily a fan before this. Am I wrong?
With Fozzy, I will say this: I hadn't heard as much off of Sin and Bones before we did this.
Right. Well,
I was very familiar with All That Remains, and I was very familiar with Judas. But Sin and Bones was something I wasn't all that familiar with.
Andy?
Yeah, so got into it at the All That Remains time back when it came out.
Okay.
Like I can't remember exactly how it happened, if I had heard a single beforehand or what, but I remember going through one of my guitar magazines, and then there was like a full page ad or something like, check out the new album Fozzy, featuring all
Waka
the, yeah, exactly, featuring like, collabs with Zach Wilde and this guy and that guy, Marty Friedman and all that stuff. So I'm like, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's right
I mean,
up your alley.
can't be that bad. Yeah, it's my wheelhouse.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, this is a good album. This is like legit, And then, it would always come around in my rotation here and there. It's good music to listen to, work out to, and everything else. And then didn't pay no mind to it for a while, but then the Judas single came out, and I was like, wow, this is like even better. It's like, more like focused, I guess would be the way to put it. He definitely found his voice, like his vocals have come a long way since the All That Remains stuff, and it's just legit, so I was definitely interested in doing this because I knew I'm pretty sure most of my list is heavy from All That Remains, but the other albums are good.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, there was I wouldn't say there was any low points at all listening to this one. It was pretty easy, which was nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
after
yeah.
Rob Zombie being different.
Yeah, different. Again, to point. So we did White Zombie a couple weeks back, and it wasn't bad. It was just
No.
I don't
There's
even want
like a definitive turning point.
Right. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was like a hard listen, but it was kind of a taxing listen. Like it was good.
In a way, yeah.
It was good. It just but like you said, this Fozzy was a smooth listen. I'm so glad Sean popped up and filled out the panel because I put Fozzy up there, however long ago it was, and I've just always been intrigued. I just never had the excuse to hop in. And that's what I love about this show is it finally gives me there's these bands that have been on my periph that I finally get to make that deep dive. And, that's on me. I could have done that at any point, but,
Sure.
I've got a podcast that makes me do it now.
Parlay it into why
Yeah.
not?
Right.
So like
you said, Justin, I mean, I was telling you the Sin and Bones album, I was almost completely unfamiliar with most of that, and I found a bunch of songs from Sin and Bones that ended up being on my list.
nice. See? And it works out. Now, we have to address this before we start hopping into the list. There is an album missing off of Spotify, and that's usually how we build the master list. I forget which album it was. Sean said it right.
Chasing the Grail.
Chasing the Grail, right. And so
curious about.
we'll see. So that was something that was already on your agenda. You already had like songs from Chasing the Grail, yeah?
Correct, yes.
So,
I was big into Chasing the Grail. A lot of Chasing the Grail is very epic sounding. It's almost movie soundtrack-esque. You know what I mean? In the sense that it's so big, and I don't even know how to explain it better than that. Like it's almost orchestral in some places, but it's also still very metal, and you just get this really epic feeling from the majority of the album. And once I learned that the majority of that couldn't be on there, I was like, oh well, mother. Because I literally was kind of coming together with some ideas in my head beforehand. Although, you know what? I'll say this. It might be a good thing that it wasn't included simply because I may not have dove as deeply into Sin and Bones if that album was included.
Yeah, see? And I mean, there's positives. And we also have to point out that the self-titled record, the first record, is mostly covers. I mean, it is what it is. So you deal with what you got. I will also put it out there. I don't have any of the covers. So play.
Oh well,
play
I
the,
might.
play those at your own risk. Well, and that's the way the game works. You never know. Like a cover may have hit Andy. Chances are covers are not going to hit me. It's rare.
Right.
But I also wanted to point out, I believe, because you said he was calling himself Mongoose McQueen. At first, Fozzy was called Fozzy Osbourne.
Right.
And that's why the first album is mostly covers, because they were basically just kind of, we'll do a cover band and we'll call it, yeah.
I'm fairly certain I've only got one cover on here though.
Don't worry about it.
Unless I'm completely confused and I forgot that somebody else did a song.
Which happens, believe me.
Yeah.
Well, we've had this discussion a million times on this show now, because we did the Blues Brothers a couple months back, which is they're nothing but covers. And it's like, what defines a cover? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, if somebody takes something and makes it completely their own, sure, it's a cover, but it's a whole blurred line that, whatever. If you want to play a cover, play a cover. That's all I'm saying.
If anybody wants to argue about covers and sometimes the how they're not valid as a song or something like that, I point to you Johnny Cash's cover of "Hurt" by Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, dude, and I love the original, but Johnny Cash's version is just amazing.
Which Trent Reznor even had to come out and say, it's his song now.
See?
Well, because he made it so much his own and it was amazing.
I also point to All Along the Watchtower. I'll take Jimmy's version all day, every day over Dylan's. All right. So the name of the game is Deprogrammed. And the three of us have all got together and we've plucked out 20 songs of our own to now bounce off of each other in an attempt to make a top 10 starter list for Fozzy. And I have a feeling that just based on the reception I got, every week I put out the question, what do you consider essential for band A, whatever band we're talking about? And I literally only got one answer. Everything else was the Waka Waka joke, which is why I put that. That's why I put that to bed, like out front. It's like, I get it. It's the name of the band is Fozzy. Let's get past that. But I get the feeling a lot of people are going to need this list to make this jump, because it's not a hard listen.
No,
it's really not a hard listen, and I don't know if that's just. I feel like at this point they've fully separated them. I know it's still Jericho, but like they fully separated themselves from. Oh, it's that wrestler's band. They're Fozzy now.
Yeah,
they're their own thing.
100%.
So, that being said, I'm going to start here, even though I feel like it's, I don't even want to say low-hanging fruit, but it's definitely a single. It's arguably their biggest song to date, but like actually listening to it, actually like taking the time to like pick it apart, and I'm going with Judas.
You know what? Number one on my list too.
Nice.
Yeah, Judas is on my list.
Yeah.
Not number one because I go in order.
Right.
Well, that is number one on my list, so it is in order.
Yeah. See.
Okay, well, fine then.
All right.
But I'm with you, Justin. That song was huge for them. That song really, I think that was when they firmly planted their foot and said, we're a legitimate band to the rest of the world. Like rockers, people like Andy, people like me, a lot of people knew already these guys were a good band. But I think you're right. I think that was the song that made people not say, hey, it's that wrestling guy. It was, hey, check this song out.
Yeah. And again, like I'd heard it countless times on his pod and, YouTube and wherever else I heard it. But like listening to it in the confines of preparation for this show, I was like, nah, man, that's just a good song. Like that's why it blew up. So, yeah.
And I remember they played, what was it? They played the Luau a year ago. Something like that. And they were on the second stage. I just remember that song blowing up for them. They played it live. Watching them play it live was amazing. And they did such a good job. I mean, these guys have been, I don't know, they've been so entertaining. And Judas just came out, and the video was amazing. It got radio play, which was huge for them, because a lot of places hadn't jumped into that boat yet. And it's an easy song to listen to. It rocks, but it's also got a groove to it.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll go over to Andy because I'm curious, because he always starts at the beginning. I'm curious to what he pulled. All right, Andy, what you got?
I had to start with Enemy.
Oh, okay. I got Enemy.
I got Enemy.
Nice.
I got Enemy, yeah. It's a great song.
Not an enemy of ours, but somebody's enemy.
No, somebody's. I'm sure.
Somebody's.
That's a great song.
Yeah,
Who
it
doesn't
is.
like
Yeah.
Enemy?
Again, it's one of those songs. It's like it's a single, but who paid attention to it? You know, when it came out.
Right.
You know, it's a good tune. All right, Sean, tune
All right.
in.
You know what? You brought them up earlier, so I'm just going to get it out of the way because I know nobody's going to have this on their list. It's their cover of SOS because it is ballsy,
It
sir.
is,
I
though.
say ballsy to do an ABBA cover in your
Yeah.
heavy metal band.
You're not wrong. And it is a terrific cover. It really is.
It is. It is.
If I was going to pick any, it would have been that one.
All right, fair enough. And I understand if nobody else has got this one,
Yeah.
which means Andy doesn't.
No, I don't.
That's
know that.
usually
but
what
it is a
that's-
good cover.
Yeah,
I
that's
must say
usually
that.
what that silence
Yeah,
is.
I
I
was
just-
yeah.
I could not respect the fact that they chose to do an ABBA cover.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, like a metal band like that, and at that stage of their career. And what's funny is like it's a ballsy cover. Like not just the choice, but like it's a ballsy song. Like it's got a lot of balls to it.
Yeah, agreed. There's balls everywhere.
Balls. I just wanted to say.
But it would have been
balls.
ballsier to do Dancing Queen or like Fernando
Oh,
or
God.
something.
That would have been good too.
Actually, a metal cover of Fernando would probably be really good. Actually,
All right. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna stay up at the top of my list here. This is another one. I heard this song. This is off the newer record, and when I had to pause. I was listening to it like when I was walking, and I heard it, and I'm like the lyrics, like the content. The question came to mind. Does he write as Chris Irvin or does he write as Chris Jericho? And like that, yeah, it made me like re-listen to everything like in a very different way. But the song is Wordsworth Way.
Wordsworth Way. I don't think I have that one.
All right,
no.
I do not. No.
all right. Well, I'm
But it
glad
is a good tune. You're right.
I'm glad I did
but
that preamble.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
too.
But it just felt like I almost want to say it was something about his mom. And again, like it made me wonder if he's writing as Chris Jericho or is he writing as Chris Irvin, and this is something about his mom. Like it just added a whole new layer to the whole band, really, like the whole catalog. All right, Andy.
All right. Next one, Wanderlust, which features Mr. Zach Wilde.
Let's see.
I don't have that one.
No, I don't either.
Man.
Sorry, Andy.
Come on, it's Zach Wilde.
I know, but lately I feel like Zach Wilde whores himself out for a cup of coffee.
Well,
he's on that god awful porn star dancing song. It doesn't mean much
but
anymore.
he's also, he is selling the Death Wish coffee or whatever,
Well, that- yeah, but I'm
so
with
he
that.
is literally whoring himself out for coffee.
You're right.
That's kind of great. That's
It
kind of
is.
great.
It's good coffee, and I had a very intimate moment with him recently. So
Nice.
Intimate, you say?
yeah.
Clothes on or
Generation
off?
X. So it was quite emotional.
Oh, nice. All right,
Very nice.
Sean.
All right, I'm going to choose another one off of Sin and Bones, I believe is what happens off of. And it's got a really creepy piano opening. It's very heavily focused on the vocals, which I enjoy, of course, being a singer in bands over the years. But like it really kicks in, gets heavy, but the piano doesn't die out after that. You still hear it in different parts of the song, which I really like. There's a kind of contrast there between the heavy music and the piano notes that really works for me. I think it works really well. It's Dark Passenger.
Oh, nope.
Oh.
And we're bad at this, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
it's either fire and also it's feast or famine. It's like we haven't even
Right.
had anything in the conversation. It's either been nobody or everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, Judas is the one with everybody.
Yeah.
So far we got two. So
An enemy was everybody
Yep.
too.
Oh yeah, that's right there. Yep, you're right.
all right. So I still don't really have a feel for the group yet. So like I'm gonna toss some more stuff out here.
Okay.
So I think Sean, like in leading up to the conversation here, mentioned something about 80s metal, and this song very much reminded me like of a Crew song, but slightly modernized. But it has the Crew core to it. I'm gonna go with "She's My Addiction."
I've got that one.
I feel like I do.
And I felt, and Justin, I want you to listen here, okay? Because
Yes.
what I have in my notes next to the song is nails 80s rock vibe, almost Guns N' Roses or Cruise-esque.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it felt like. I leaned more towards Crew because the hook, she's my addiction.
I completely get that. Yeah.
Did you say you had it too, Andy?
I do. Yeah.
All right, we got 3.
We are well on our way. At this point, I do want to point out, just in case we need it, the new Trash Protocol. I think we're going to get there, but if in case we don't, new Trash Protocol is we can each pull out 2 songs out of the trash. One from our own list that we really would like people to give a second chance, and one from somebody else's list that you were close on. Just in case we don't get our 10. We've got 3, we got 0 in the combo, and that's what's got me worried. All right, Andy?
All right, so next, Nameless Faceless.
I got it.
Nameless Faceless. Hold on, let me look real quick. I was in the middle of trying to open something else up so I could make notes of the songs we've kicked out.
Yeah.
Nameless Faceless. Okay, so Nameless Faceless is not on my list, and I remember agonizing over this one. It was almost on my list.
Right.
So that would be one of those ones that if we get there, I'm going to pull that one back out.
Yeah. That's just it's
a
just a good tune. Yeah, it's a very good tune. I think also that may have been a single. It's hard to tell because, like you said before, they didn't really get any radio play. So
yeah,
I think they just maybe did videos or so. I don't even know how I know some of these.
They did some videos, and I think they were pretty much a WWE pay-per-view band for a while.
Also true. Very, very much true. All right, Sean?
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with, let's see here. I'm going to go with something off of Judas that it hit me in a weird way. It's almost got a funky beat to it. Like, I can hear an influence from that funky sound, but it's still, I mean, obviously rocking. It's Burn Me Out.
Oh, nope.
Yes.
All right.
So you have that one.
So it's 2 out of 3.
Nice. It's a good song. Like, you get what I mean about how it's got this funky bass line to it? Or not, Andy. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought you were talking to Justin there.
Hey, Justin, the guy who doesn't have this song.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But no, I really like it a lot. I mean, it gets a little repetitive in places, which sometimes drones on me, but I don't know, the beat to it and the rhythm, I dig it. It kind of keeps me hooked in.
Well, I feel like that one was cut just because, like, at some point, the problem with this show is at some point you have to cut things just because. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You don't. I mean, there isn't a definitive reason. So
yeah, that was Nameless Faceless for me.
Yeah, see, it's like, it's this one or this one.
It was a gut feeling. I was just like, that one's going away.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna put this one out here. Now, he wrote this because, well, he named it this specifically because he hated his old WCW theme, which he's mad. I love that theme. It just sounds like a Pearl Jam song. That's your fault, Chris, or that's your problem, Chris. No one. I love that. I love that tune. One Crazed Anarchist.
I have that one too.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
One Crazed Anarchist.
So that was like the last cut for me.
Oh.
That was 21 because it was like my first round through. I was like short a few, so I'm like, okay, listening to the last 2 albums more to get stuff, or not the last 2, but Sin and Bones and was it Want to Start a War or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I added that one, and then I was like, oh, I'm at 21 now. Crap. Okay, well that was last in, so that's the rule.
I think it's hilarious.
Good song, though.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. He was like, "Oh, we got to get this other song out of here." Like that's what he said on his pod. He's like, "This is better." I was like, "I mean, yeah, but like." The theme was cool, man.
The thing about One Crazed Anarchist for me was like it's a really raw sounding song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jericho does his really high vocals, which actually through a lot of his stuff I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
I think he's really found his groove, like Andy said later on in like Sin and Bones and Judas and even Do You Want to Start a War? He was really getting his groove as a vocalist, but he nails it in this song.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's a simple hook. One Crazed Anarchist. I mean, if when done right, simple is the best. And this is like right up there near the top for me. All right, Andy?
All right. So let's see. That takes me back to Born of Anger featuring Marty Friedman. which I think
No.
like a lot the solo and everything on that, just a cool different vibe on that tune.
I do not have that one.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the problem with songs like that, I think the features bummed me out. Like,
Yeah.
I think when,
Just not your go-to people, or just like
well, you know, because Friedman would
Felt a
be
different
at least
way.
close, because, you know, I was a huge Megadeth fan at one point in life.
Sure.
But I don't, I think it's just, it makes it feel less like the band when there's a feature.
I get that.
And I think, again, like I said, sometimes you're just looking for whatever reason to cut stuff. So, like,
True.
if it doesn't hit me right away as, yeah, this is that band, instead of this is that band plus this other guy, all right.
Right.
So-
Well, I mean, for me, like, because again, that's all that remains. Getting those, big names, so to speak, in the rock and metal world, like the Zach and the Marty Friedman and stuff like that. It's for one what sold me on buying the album outright, and then also just kind of it says like it's a legit thing if these guys are willing to come in and play on the album and put out a good song, not just like they showed up for
Yeah.
a couple notes kind of thing.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
right.
So-
You're right. All right, Sean.
Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this now just because brought it up earlier, teased it, so I got to make good. Justin, I mean, what do you do when the lights go out?
I gave that song serious consideration. I really, really, really did. Because at one point, and this is what ended up giving it the axe,
Oh, no.
every time you'd listen to Jericho's pod, like when that
Yeah.
first came out, that song was on. And that's why it became the joke with YWS, is because
Right.
it drove Zach insane. And then it was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
well,
that song.
yeah, we're-
Yeah, it was. We would find any excuse, like anybody would say the words "out" or the lights or something, and we'd be like, "Wait, did you just say?" And then we'd play it in exactly.
Yeah, but
it-
that one is on my list. So
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Conversation.
All right.
Actually-
What's so funny is I thought Andy might not have that one, but I thought for sure you'd have it, Justin. You've let me down.
Well, when I say it was probably like 22 or 23. Like I gave
Right.
it serious consideration, but like
I get
it grooves. It's actually a really good tune.
it. It is.
All
All
right.
right, fine.
No, but it's in the combo, so we need all the
Yeah.
all the songs in the combo we can get.
You darn right.
All right, let's see. Where am I going to go here? I don't know. That's gotta hurt, Gene.
Oh, rest in peace.
Oh, rest in peace. Yeah,
I know,
sure.
right, dude? Like, oh, that one hurt. That
Yeah.
one hurt. I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna trot this one out here. How about Brides of Fire?
Yes.
I have Brides of Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It's got like speed metal riffs in it, man. It's great.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm a little less on the hook, even though it is super simple. But like, the speed like more than makes up for it. I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, I'm fired up. Like, I was listening to it while I was walking, and that song came on. I started jogging. I was like, oh, let me
Yeah.
chill out.
You're
yeah,
like,
I was
what
gonna.
What is
figure
my
that was a
body
walking
doing right
tune.
now?
Stop this right now.
Oh, that must be how people feel when they hear music and they shake their ass.
Yeah. Oh.
No, the speed metal parts of it, man, I agree with you 100%. They grabbed me and never let go. I love the solo in that song as well.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like this album, and in particular, maybe even this track is where it clicked for me, is where I felt like Jericho really found his style
Yeah.
as a vocalist.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So we've got 4 into the conversation as well. Andy.
All right. So sometimes, what can you say? But blood happens.
I have that one too.
Okay, good, because that was a late cut for me.
Oh,
That was a very late cut.
So close.
Again, it's a combo though.
That one's like the way I have notes next to all the songs that I picked, just like little things. And like one of the notes I put for that one was, this song is really not pretty, but man, is it heavy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Blood happens.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Well, that's why it was hard for me to cut. Like that, the blood happens. It's like, again, like, God, I wish more people
Really?
would. I wish more people would like just embrace simplicity. I feel like rock, in general, since early 2000s, like they're trying to get these like elaborate, like big long sentences as the name of their titles, and trying to use
Yeah.
big words in their songs. And it's like, Nah, man, like 2 words, blood happens, and it's big. It hits. It's all that's right in the world. All right,
Yeah.
Sean.
Oh, my turn. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. It's so hard when you have a list of this many things on it to pick which one you want to throw out there. I'm gonna go with "Wolves at Bay" from Judas.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice. It's a heavy, in-your-face song, but the chorus has a pretty dramatic change in it that almost a little more melodic than the rest of the song. But I love that the difference between those two things. I think it flows so well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's all right. So New Trash Protocol is out the window.
Cool.
So we don't have to worry about that.
5 all the way in or whatever.
Yep, we got 5 in, 5 in the combo. So
Nice.
at worst case scenario, if we miss everything else, the 5 from the combo come on over.
Nice.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stay on Judas here.
Good album.
Judas ended up, I think, it may have been my favorite album because to me it felt like, I don't want to say the first time, but it felt like a full-on Fozzy album.
Feels like the first time. Sorry.
It felt like a full-on, like they were definitely making the changes a couple out, like Sin and Bones around there. Like
Right.
Yeah.
they were turning into Fozzy. But Judas to me, like it's like that's Fozzy. That's what they sound like. That Jericho's he feels at his peak.
Yeah.
The band is like just on point. I'm gonna go with Capsized.
I don't have that one. That was a late cut for me.
That's all right.
No.
That's all right. These are the perfect times for misses.
Right.
Once we're safe.
Yep. Once we're safe. All right, Andy.
All
right. So sometimes songs just get inside your head. So that was my next one. Inside my head. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know-
Nice. I've got that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I had that one. Yeah, there it is. I
Okay.
got it too.
Okay.
It's inside your head, Justin.
It is
Yeah,
way
That's
inside.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a brooding song.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, like I could imagine, and again, I wasn't really familiar with Sin and Bones, but if I was having a really hard day, I could see putting this song on in the background.
Yeah. I honestly haven't thought about real world application of Fozzy yet. We'll get that. We'll get to that once we have our list, because I think that's a fun combo to have too.
All
right, Sean.
I would like to point out, by the way, just when you were bringing up how Fozzy or like Jericho really seemed to find himself in the Fozzy or the Judas album and everything, I got to introduce them when they played here.
Right.
And dude, I got to watch him perform from the side of the stage. That dude was so into everything he did.
Yeah.
Like that dude lives the moment. He's not Chris Jericho there. He's the lead singer of Fozzy.
Beautiful.
And I really feel like he's established himself with 2 completely different personas that he is able to detach from each other, which I think is incredible. And I'm going to pick another one from Judas as a result of that. I'm going to go with Weight of My World.
I got it.
Let's see. I do not see that on my list.
Bummer.
So no.
All right.
The intro for that one, it's funny because the intro on that one almost throws me. The almost cheesy 80s anthem-y style thing.
Yeah.
But then the song kicks in, and then the anthem feels right at home when they get back to it.
Yep. Agreed.
So I had to get through that opening. I almost skipped past that song when that opening played.
You know what's funny is I feel like that's the same thing that happened to me. Is like I'm like, all right, okay, oh.
Oh,
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Shit. I'm gonna toss this one out here.
Okay.
That's the title of the record. All That Remains.
Yep, I got that one.
All right.
I knew I had to have that one. It's the first song I ever heard from them.
I don't know how, but somehow it's not on there. Weird.
That's okay, baby.
What?
Because
Weird.
we got 6, and then we got 8 that we were gonna have to drag down to 4.
Yeah, I mean it's in the conversation.
You got 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're right. 7. It's 7. All right, Andy.
All right. So next, I believe that puts me at "She's My Addiction."
We've already put that one through.
We did. Okay, that's right. Okay,
Yep.
so next, "Died with You."
Nope.
Yes. So now we have 8 in the
Now
contest.
8.
I love that one. It's a sad song, but it's also their version of a love song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of
It's
dig
well
that.
done.
It's very well done. Yeah, and Jericho, his vocals on it sound great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good song. It's off to You Want to Start a War, by the way.
Yep. All right, Sean.
Oh, I gotta go through and find the other ones that we haven't said yet. I've got from Sin and Bones. I've got Justin, you probably don't have this one in list, and maybe Andy does it too. But I really liked this one. Sandpaper.
I don't.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, M Shadow's on that one.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I was like, oh, maybe they don't have it. But I think that M Shadow's voice actually adds some gravitas to the chorus and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think it actually helps in this situation. Doesn't take away too much from the song.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly I can't think to why I cut it. So I don't have it, but it's in the combo.
It's a really good song. It's that that whole in your face rock style always grabs me right away.
So I have 8 in total left. And you know what? I've been staring at this one. It's not even really technically the top of my list, but it's the top of the list right now. It's the only thing I pulled through from the self-titled record. It's End of Days.
I've got that one.
Hey.
I do not.
All
You know what about that song that grabbed me was I'm listening to it, and now on this side of it and everything, re-listening to it, I think to myself when I'm listening, it's like they're almost something.
Yeah.
They're almost Fozzy.
I like, because everything else on that album is basically covers, or is covers. I think there's 1, maybe 2 other originals, and it's like, okay, I can see what they're doing here. There's something here. And it's like the other ones are like, okay, those are fine, but this one is like, all right, I feel like there's a band here that doesn't want to just do covers.
Right, exactly.
All right, Andy.
All right, so let's see. Next, I believe we have not said this one, which would be. Do we say Bad Tattoo?
Not yet, but I got it.
I do not.
All right.
That was a late cut for me as well.
Right.
I mean, later cut. It was probably like 25-ish.
Yeah. Sean?
Okay, I'm going to say, let's go with, I'm actually running out of songs here. Let's go with Do You Want to Start a War? That title track off of that album.
So good. I don't have
It's
it.
so good.
So good.
Good song though.
Yeah.
It was a late cut.
It's it's got that kind of interesting opening, and then that beat drops, and the song just kicks the effing, because I don't know your rules, door down.
Do you want to start a war?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it's
good, man.
yeah.
I wish you guys loved me.
Sorry. Well, and again, like that album is tough for me. I mean, I ended up pulling like 4 or 5 songs from it.
Yeah.
But when that album came out, Jericho was playing almost every song from it on his pod almost every week. So it's like the burnout of it. Like that is when I burned out on his pod pretty much, is because of this album. I mean, I've since come back, but like you remember how like Zach, like again, like this is how that became a joke, is like just listening to his pod and having all these songs in our face every week. So
yeah, no, I get that. I'm looking at this. I think I only have 2 songs left.
oh wow, okay. Then do you have a roundabout how many you have left, Andy?
I want to say there's 6. Let me look.
Yeah, I got 6.
Brides of Fire already said, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we should Judas.
Math on a podcast.
It's like 6, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I got 6. So what we'll do is we'll go these last 2 rounds, and then Andy and I will just bounce off each other and see what we got.
Okay, fine.
I don't feel strong about any of these. I feel like some of these got through just kind of cuz.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you get rid of Do You Want to Start a War?
We'll see. But that's the thing. Like I would feel stronger about Do You Want to Start a War now, like if I listen to it now. How about Spider in My Mouth?
No.
I don't have that one.
Yeah. See, I didn't feel as strong about that one. And now that I think about Do You Want to Start a War, it's like, dang, I wish I would have given that another listen. All right, Andy.
All right, so let's see. We said Brides of Fire, so then that puts me at Scarecrow.
Nope.
Nope, don't have it.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Sorry.
Guy. All right, Sean.
I have. I get the follow-up to Judas, Painless.
Oh God.
No.
I don't have it, but can I just say that like I really probably could have pulled just about anything from Judas.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I'm not
I
trying.
really liked it.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to say it's even necessarily their best work, but I think it's just the most indicative of what Fozzy is. So
Agreed. I can get behind that. I really like the lyrics in Painless and whatnot. I think lyrically it's one of his better songs as well. But you know, it's what it is. Yeah, the video's weird because like when you saw Judas, it was like it looked sped up in a way, but it was on time. It was just sped up, so they shot it funny. And then when they did the video for Painless, it's the same thing except the reverse. It's all on time with the song, but everything's in slow motion.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it was interesting as the follow-up to Judas.
Yeah. So it's my turn, right? Yeah. Dang. Like I said, I don't really feel strong about. How about The Way I Am?
Yes, that's my last one.
Oh, hey.
No,
Okay.
not on mine, no.
Dang it, Andy.
Yeah, well,
All right, Andy.
All right, so why not be Drinking with Jesus?
I got it.
Yeah, see, it's a good tune.
All right, so Sean
At least
is
we're
out.
not heathens like Sean. Didn't want to have a drink with Jesus.
What's his name? Oh yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. So Andy and I should each have 3 left, right? So we're just kind of
Let's see.
something like
I
that.
think I have 4.
Okay.
I think 4.
I'm gonna bounce this one off you then. Shine Forever.
Okay. Yes.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Your turn.
How about Elevator?
New.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that we're about to miss each other on these last ones.
Uh-huh.
Days of the Week.
No.
That's
That was a cover, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I know. Well, I know there was
it
that song by a Stone Pilots. It was Days of the Week. So.
All right.
Probably not the same thing. But,
I was going to say,
same
God, I
thing.
hope it wasn't that one because, man, that was a terrible song.
Of
It
all the
wasn't great,
S2P
but it wasn't
songs,
bad. But yeah, we did Wolves at Bay, I think, because Sean, you had that one, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did.
that one went in.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, and then Burn Me Out. I think we had that one too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's in the conversation.
Yep. And we did Sandpaper. So then I have Sin and Bones.
Nope.
I think. Okay, that was my last one, I think, then, because we
Right.
did Shine Forever and Lights Go Out already. So yeah.
Yep. All right, and my last one, just to clear out the chambers there, No Good Way.
Yeah.
All right, so let me
So how many do we have in?
6, I think. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. So just to run it down, we got Judas, Wolves at Bay, Enemy, She's My Addiction, Inside My Head, and Brides of Fire.
That's a good list.
That's
That's a
already
good, solid start.
Yeah.
So we need to get 4 of these.
Okay.
End of Days, Shine Forever, Nameless Faceless, All That Remains, The Way I Am, Drinking with Jesus, Burn Me Out, Weight on My World, Bad Tattoo, Died With You, One Crazed Anarchist, Lights Go Out, Sandpaper, and Blood Happens.
I'll say right now, All That Remains. It wasn't on my list, but I mean that one should go in.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked
So
that
we are
one.
at
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I almost feel like End of Days has to go in, being the only representation from self-titled. And like Sean and I both said, it's kind of the start of something.
Mhm.
I
Sure.
don't know.
Let me see. Let me spin that real quick.
Yeah. And I'm looking at like some of this other stuff because if that would
I'm looking at the ones that jump out at me are, of course, when the lights go out, Justin, you bastard. That one jumps out at me. I really dig, like, for some of this stuff that sounds a little different. The ones that jump out at me are like Burn Me Out, One Crazed Anarchist, Blood Happens. Some of the more simple tunes. The Burn Me Out one is the funky one,
Yeah.
God. This is tough.
Yeah, this is where it always gets tough because you got to make. Now we're making cuts together. So, let's see.
End of Days was not a. Was that a cover or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was.
pretty good. So I mean, I basically like skipped that album because it was like, oh, this is all covers. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's, like I said, there's like 2 or 3 originals, and End of
Yeah.
Days is one of them.
yeah, we could put End of Day. We'll see what else we got, but I would put a bullet by End of Days as a. We'll come back to it kind of thing.
All right, so let me make sure. So I'm gonna put. I slid these ones up to the top that Sean just named. Lights Go Out, One Crazy Anarchist, Burn Me Out, Blood Happens. Do you have any that kind of jump out at you, Andy?
Was that what Nameless Faithless is still on the conversation, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so that one. I mean, Blood Happens is on my list, so obviously I'm still in favor of that.
All right, let's bump Blood Happens through because both of you still have it towards the top of what's left.
Okay.
But also lose Shine Forever because nobody's going to bat for that. All right. I almost feel like we should drop Drinking with Jesus and Weight on My World as well, even though I like both of them.
That's fair.
Sure.
Because we already have 2 from that record through.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of. Yeah. Now we're trying to find, I think, the last one, right?
How many we got? Yeah, tell us how many we got.
All right, let me make sure. Move. Okay, maybe not. We have 8.
I was thinking maybe we had 2 more.
Yeah, we have 2 more. So I'll run them down again real quick. Judas, Wolves at Bay, Enemy, All That Remains, Blood Happens, She's My Addiction, Inside My Head, Brides of Fire. And that being said, we already have 3 through from Sin and Bones. I feel like we can probably drop Sandpaper at this point.
Sure.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So that leaves us with End of Days, Lights Go Out, One Crazy Anarchist, Burn Me Out, Nameless Faceless, The Way I Am, Bad Tattoo, and Died With You.
All right, well, let's put in End of Days then, since that's from the first album.
Right.
And it's not a cover, so it's original material. So I would say put that in.
And I feel
like that's a good call. Again, it's you hear that there's almost something there with them on that one. It's a good starting place.
Yeah.
So at this point, I feel like the conversation should be between the stuff from Do You Want to Start a War? Because the only thing from it we have is Brides of Fire. And
which is which songs? It's obviously Do You Want to Start a War?
Let's see, Lights Go Out,
One Crazed Anarchist,
Bad Tattoo, and Died With You.
I like Bad Tattoo.
I was never big on that one.
You know, I mean, I would say between Bad Tattoo and maybe the Anarchist would be from those. Because I mean, like, I have When the Lights Go Out too, but
Is Lights Go Out like? Is that one of the songs we want to point people to if they're trying to get into Fozzy? I guess is the question.
I mean, do we have it? I'm trying to think of the actual list now because I mean, we brought up how One Crazed Anarchist is a little, it's different, but it's a little heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there anything? Do we have stuff on the list that meets that criteria as well? That's got that heaviness to it.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I think Blood Happens is actually heavier.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about Blood Happens. Sorry,
yeah.
Let's get my idea. Then, oh man. That's a good question, Justin. Is that something we want to point to? I
mean, do we feel there's familiarity with it outside of the podcast?
What's that?
Do we feel there's a familiarity with it outside of the podcast?
I honestly don't know. I mean, it is the only song that got brought up when I asked, do people, what should I point to? Lights Go Out is the only real answer I got.
Did more than like one person bring it up?
No, just the one person. I only got like 5 answers, and 4 of them were Waka Waka jokes. So,
yeah. But it is Fozzy, so it's a lesser. Overall, it's kind of a narrower
The sheer
focus.
fact that people out there knew that it was when the lights go out
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
makes me happy. But then at the same time, what's the point of this list? Is this point of this list to say this is some of the best Fozzy, or if you're not familiar with Fozzy, this is what you should listen to?
Definitely
Because
the latter.
if we feel like when the lights go out is familiar, then we should choose something that's less familiar but a good song.
Yeah, and to be honest, like Lights Go Out and She's My Addiction, even though content-wise they're not the same, they both have that that strip joint vibe to them.
Right, I get that.
I mean, again, Lights Go Out is a way better song than like I want to give it credit for, but at this point, I think we could probably lose it.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And go for She's My Addiction instead.
That's already in.
That's already
Oh, that's already in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I was just saying we already
Um,
got that vibe.
Yeah.
So it was between When the Lights Go Out and what was the other one you were pointing to, Justin?
So we have One Crazed Anarchist, Bad Tattoo, and Died With You are the three left from Do You Want
Of
to Start
those
a War?
three, the One Crazed Anarchist stands out to me the most. And then maybe Died With You.
Yeah.
I feel similar, but I'm like, well, maybe with Died With You, we get that lighter side.
Yeah, I could see
They
that.
don't really capture, so it's like they taught you how to love.
Yeah,
Rock
yeah.
ballads and monster jams.
You know what? Like Died With You was the one, not on my list, but like I can see that being. Yeah. You know what? I'm with it. If you guys want to go,
we could do that too.
yeah. If you guys want to go with Died With You, let's put
I'm
that
good
one
with that.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right, and
Cool.
so that drops these out. I can do that later. Justin trying to do everything all at once. All right,
Yep.
so here's our 10: Judas, Wolves at Bay, Enemy, All That Remains, Blood Happens, She's My Addiction, Inside My Head, End of Days, Died With You, and Brides of Fire. It's a hot
That's a
10.
good list.
That is a hot 10. Yeah, like again, if you're not familiar with Fozzy, you listen to those 10, you're like, at worst, you have a good idea of what they do.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. And I feel like, shoot, now I'm going to have to make sure I make this list because I'm going to have to put that particular list on my Spotify.
I'll share the link with you. I mean,
All right, cool.
I always cut down that master list that I shared into the group message. I always cut that down to the 10.
Nice, because I want to be able to listen to this
Yeah.
from start to finish and
All right.
see how I like it all rolling together.
So that being said, and Sean, you're the new guy here, so I'm going to go to you first. Which song is the number one with the bullet? Which one will be the representation in the Best of 2019 episode?
I mean, I really feel like there's no other option than Judas.
You know, it was my number one. Again, like I want to disagree because it's massive. I really want to
Right.
disagree because it's massive. But
It's such a good encapsulation of what they have become.
absolutely, and oddly enough, I've become
Yeah.
this song. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, it's, because there's so many good tunes from All That Remains that I would point to, but at the same time, like, they were still essentially finding themselves in a lot of ways. And, like, Judas is like, you wouldn't even think that was product of a WWE mind or WCW mind or ECW or New Japan or Ring of Honor or any wrestling promotion, mind frame that you want to come from. Even though he wasn't in all of those, if you just said this was the new band Fozzy and played Judas, people would want to hear more from that band.
Agreed. And
So.
like I don't know how I didn't think of this earlier. What Judas is, the album and the song specifically, it's fine-tuned Fozzy. Like it's finely tuned.
Yeah.
But exactly to what Andy said is that all the remain and a lot of these songs on this list are better songs technically, but they do not represent as efficiently who Fozzy has evolved into.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's not as dialed in.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
This is that. This is them. This is Fozzy to a T.
So I'm gonna rock this down one last time. Here's our 10. Number one with a bullet, Judas. Wolves at Bay, Enemy, All That Remains, Blood Happens, She's My Addiction, Inside My Head, End of Days, Died With You, and Brides of Fire. That is a damn good 10, gents.
That is a hot 10.
That is a damn good 10. I feel good about it. I'm so happy that this finally got to happen as far as being able to do Fozzy. And here's the other thing. Like, I was happy that Sean jumped in at Fozzy, but the other name you put out there was Korn.
Yeah, Korn.
I'm pumped up for that because, like, I was really into Korn at one point in my life, and I just kind of
A lot of people were.
yeah. But
yeah.
You're damn right they were.
But the thing is, like, and you can thank Fred Durst for this. I know he's not in the band, but like the rise of popularity of Limp Bizkit and Fred in particular,
Yeah, baby, yeah.
it led me away from Korn. So I'm really interested in going back. And I mean, there's a ton of albums I've missed, and just revisiting some of the old stuff that I used to love. I honestly, I hope. Maybe even my brother. I'm going to bounce it around. I'm bringing it up because we don't have another person for the panel. So
for Korn? Oh.
Yeah, so it's just you and I right now.
How did nobody else jump at Korn?
I know, right? Like, it's been sitting there forever.
You know,
I love Korn. I
already
Korn
did
so
Nickelback,
much.
so
it's fair.
Yeah, you, sir, are a trooper.
We did Nickelback.
Yeah, you know.
We did Nickelback.
That's an interesting listen if you're.
I was going to say, but you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say this now. Nickelback is no worse than about 1,000 other bands out there right now.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And I would still listen to Nickelback over Limp Bizkit. That's for
Right,
sure.
they're just the ones who have become the running joke at this point.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's cool to hate on them, but they've
Yeah.
sold so many records. It's
somebody out there's buying them. Somebody's lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andy, I'm not sure. Like, I'll have to take a look, but I'm not sure what you've got coming down the pike.
I mean, we have aforementioned Megadeth.
Yeah.
Ooh, Megadeth.
Me, you, and Tower for some Megadeth here soon.
I got to jump on that, and then
Andy, I'm
there
going to
might be
rely
some
on you to
stuff.
show. I'm going to rely on you to show Cryptic Writings the appropriate love it deserves,
Well, yeah, of course, you
because
know,
a lot of
that's-
people don't.
I don't know why. I mean, that was that was the era when I got into metal and stuff. So Load and Cryptic Writings kind of
There you go.
gateway drug, if you will.
Oh man, it feels so good. And speaking of gateway drugs, I want to be your gateway drug. Patreon.com/ohhijustin. I will get you addicted to things like Deprogrammed, this program, 4 full days before the rest of the world. That's addictive, baby. A full daily pod of Oh Hi Justin. You get a once weekly pod of Oh Hi Justin. You get the hashtag WrestlePals. You get the hashtag WrestleParty. You get these ghouls demos as I release them. You get the super secret pod project that Jenny and I are working on. You get maybe another pod coming down the line with me and Fredo. Look, there's lots of stuff, and it only costs you $1 American. And look, you'll have my undying thanks. Like plus
Right.
all that other stuff. I really cannot thank you enough for even considering going to patreon.com/ohhijustin. That being said, guys, oh my God, this was a blast. Thank you guys so much for doing the show with me.
Yeah,
Thank you
good
for
times.
inviting me, dude. I loved it.
And with that being said, Fozzy, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.